What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I am coming at you from one of our receivers in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And it just so happens to be one of those receivers that if you drop off a load here, I have never got an empty trailer out of this place one time. I've either did my depart call, then picked up another load here after I knew there weren't any empty trailers, so that worked in my favor, or I got a load where I didn't have to bring an empty trailer. So I'm sitting here waiting for an empty trailer. I'm gonna wait for about an hour. After that, I'm just gonna go find somewhere to park and deal with it later. Hopefully I'll get a pre-plan, maybe that picks right back up here or somewhere else that I don't need an empty trailer. But that's kind of what my situation is right now. Just wanted to, I've done a few videos and I've kind of got on the trainers, whether it be trainers that just keep an unkept truck, or they talk down to their trainees, or they don't train at all, or, just a host of a bunch of things I've spoke about in regards to trainers. And this is going to be one of them videos, it's time for trainees to line up for this one. Just a couple times, just within the last 10 days, I've heard of situations with trainers that trainers have had with their trainees. Now, one thing that I tell all my trainees to do, and I do it, is when I'm out with the trainee, which I don't train anymore, so when I was out with trainees, trying to get them all trained up, once a week they had to send in a message to the fleet manager and explain what's going on. Everything's great, I'm learning a lot, whatever it is, I don't care what it is, but you got to touch base with the fleet manager, and I'm going to touch base with the fleet manager as well. So whatever happens isn't just coming out of the blue for either of us. And I'm not micromanaging it or anything like that. Just send it in. So if you happen to be coming into training as a truck driver, whether it be at Prime or any other company, you got to take this stuff seriously. And it has to be your number one focus. There's a lot of things that I have that are pet peeves. And some of those pet peeves turn into rules if they keep going. Like, for example, one pet peeve that I had, which would have turned into a rule, and it has nothing to do with these instances I'm talking about, would be computer games and all this kind of stuff, right? First of all, I don't have a TV, but I did have a trainee that had the setup and everything, and it was kind of a pet peeve of mine. I said, listen, we're going to be running too hard. You need to sleep when you can. Now, I think he realized exactly how important it was to sleep, because I never saw him, even think about gaming again after that, once we got humming. So I didn't have to turn that into a rule. So I mean, some things are pet peeves, some things are rules. One rule that I've had my whole life, and it could be it's been in relationships, it's been in business, as a matter of fact, I could think of times in business and relationship, but where if you aren't on time, which is what one of these situations is about, we're going to have a problem. Now, I may let that slide like one time, and that is it. After that, I don't care what it's going to take, but our session is over. And whether we get a load or we're going to deadhead somewhere, we're done. And I just know me good enough to know that once people get to the point where they're not valuing my time, it's a wrap. I can't recover from that. 2 times this happened in business or one time it happened in business, was I'd set an appointment to meet somebody at their house and do, get all the paperwork signed up to start their mortgage. Go out there, give the guy a call, and he answers the phone, and you could tell he was like either at a bar or a restaurant or something like that. And he says that he forgot that we had a meeting. It happened one more time, and I just dropped the loan. And this was a pretty good loan. It was probably, at the time, it was probably about $370,000, which was quite a bit back in the early 2000s. And then he called again, after that, and I was just like, you got to find somebody else. I'm done. Next time, in a relationship, I was dating this girl, and supposed to be bringing a movie over, having some dinner, something like that, and I get a call, and she's like, what movie did you want me to get? Because I think I just said just pick one. This was back when you went to Blockbuster and got a movie, so we're talking way, way back in the day. But let's say she's supposed to be there at 8 o'clock. I'm getting the call at like 8:15 asking me about this stuff, and I was like, you haven't even left yet? No, It's like, don't bother, it's over. I do not play with that. So if I tell somebody we're leaving at a certain time, you got to be ready to go, especially if we've been sitting around for a while. It may be different, and I can be a little impatient at times. It might be different if we been running and we stop at a truck stop, and I say, hey, let's be ready to go in 30 minutes, and we've been running. But if we've been sitting somewhere for 12 plus hours, and when I'm trying to leave and you ain't there, we got a problem. That may be a correctable problem. But if somebody just isn't wanting to learn at all in general, and the focus is on everything else but the training, that's a problem. You need to be 100% focused on this job, because that's what turns good trainers into bad trainers. And I've had people call me back when I was training saying, hey, I got this trainee. He's not even trying to, get out at shippers or receivers, when it's time to back up, or if I'm backing up somewhere and he's in, there's just no engagement whatsoever. And I said, how's his driving? Oh, he drives fine. He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care about learning the job. My advice to that person was, run the shit out of him, make your money. If he doesn't worry about it, if he doesn't want to learn, then I don't want to teach him. At that point, then I am about the money. At that point, then I will just run the shit out of people. You know what? We get somewhere and it's time to back in or go learn some new process or whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. If you ain't worried about it, I'm not worried about it. And I've just heard 2 times within the last 10 days where this job is being looked at like it's a joke. And I've mentioned before that I don't exactly remember how many miles I did in training, but I went in training, started training April 10th, and I didn't get off my trainer's truck until November-ish, probably mid-November. And I look back at how much I didn't know when I first got out on the road. So I'm saying I had all this training, and I was focused during all this training, and there was still that learning curve after the training was over. So you're going to tell me that you're going to take somebody that, training's 50,000 miles right now, that does 50,000 miles, that isn't paying attention during that 50,000 miles, that's just going to be able to get out there and be able to start running without too many hiccups? I don't think so. 50,000 miles can seem like it's a long time until the 50,000 miles are over and you don't know some of the little tricks in the trade that I learned during my training. What happens if your tandems aren't sliding? What could be the problems with that? I could name a bunch of different things. But you know, if you are coming into training at any company, one thing I'm going to say that's going to distinguish the good trainees from the average or the poor is, are you engaging in the questions? So I don't need a trainee that's just sitting over here all, you know, or in the back all day long without asking me questions about how do you do this? How do you do that? No matter how good you are, if you're not getting any questions answered that you have, you're not learning all that you can. You know what? Let's take a look and see what this pre-plan's about. See if it's some shit I don't want.
Has been activated. New important message has arrived.
That's too many messages. That sounds like too many drops. I ain't trying to.
A new important message has arrived. Attention. A new important message has arrived.
Yep, definitely.
A new message has arrived.
Let's see where the 90. Hold on a second. Let me get my phone so I can look at it. My other phone. Because there's too many damn things to read on there. I can tell you it's more than one drop, which I don't necessarily like. Forgive me for this. I'll keep talking about this while my other phone powers up. But ask some questions. Seriously. Don't be worried so much about where you're going to be eating and sightseeing and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you know what? It makes for a good training experience. I know excellent trainers that are all about the experience and we're going to go out here, you know, we got some time. No, I'm 100% focused on, you know, what we're doing. And I think my way may not be the right way, but one thing that I do know is that we're going to be focused. All right, let's take a look and see what this load is. Oh, god damn! Exactly where I didn't fucking want to go. All right, well. Jesus Christ. Give me a second while I absorb this. Oh, you know what? One thing might... Alright, so this is at least a good thing. The delivery, for some reason they're showing one delivery is a 02 and one is a 90, but they're at the same place. So that at least softens the blow a little bit. Let me just see something real quick before I get into this load. All right. Jesus Christ, I cannot stand this shit. All right, well, let me see if I can find an excuse to not do the load. Oh, shit. Well, I got plenty of hours, so I can't turn it down on that. It doesn't pick up until Wednesday. Shit. Alright, doesn't pick up till Wednesday. What's today? Monday? All right, so anyway, here's the load. I pick up right back here. And I deliver to, I don't even know how to pronounce this shit. Methuen, Massachusetts, so about 30 miles north of Boston. At Shaw's Supermarket Safeway. So that's the load. Drops off on Friday. I hate that Boston area. Enough about that. Shit. I'll just accept it. But I gotta get in and out. I ain't trying to live up in that motherfucker. Oh, wait a second. There's some money on here for unloading. Hold on. I need to get off this and make sure that we're on the same page. Because I'm not unloading nothing. So, I appreciate you guys stopping by. No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. As always, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.